Hey guys, Theia here. Thank you so much for sending those screenshots of the PACE challenge workout. I'm going to go through my comments, and I figured that putting a video together was going to be faster and also more interactive for everyone. So this is the original workout. The two blocks here are alternating power and cadence. The first block at 90 RPMs, the second at 60 to 70 RPMs. The 2040s were power up and down, RPMs 100 to 60, 100, then down to 65, 100 down to 65, and then the standing intervals here at the end. So I'm going to look at the screenshots in the order that they were posted on the forum. And this first one here, even though we don't see the workout builder here to be able to compare target power with the actual power output, it looks pretty controlled, as you can tell. See, it's got a nice profile that seems to be following the workout pretty well. So the one thing here to point out is that, but this is fair enough, our writer said that she was chatting away in the first two intervals, and therefore she didn't pay attention to the cadence. So you can see the cadence up and down when it was supposed to be at 90 here and at 60 to 70 here. But the cadence looks fine here, so it goes up to 100 and down to 65. Again, very well controlled, outside of erg mode. It looks pretty good. There was one big spike here, but really not a big deal. The floors look pretty good. Not a lot of falling through here, the bottom of the floor that she was supposed to hold. So yeah, overall, it looks really good. The next one I'm going to look at, this one is a little easier to look because it's a bigger screenshot and it also has the workout profile. So we can clearly see where the power output was in comparison to the target power. So the comments that I have to offer here are a couple. The first one is these big power spikes. So as we're transitioning from 60 to 70 to, oh, I can't remember the power now, 80, 70, 80, and 90% of FTP, we have to shift, right? And there's a big spike right here. See that? And then another one, big one here. So it goes, the target power was somewhere around 140, maybe 45, but it goes all the way to 150 and then back down. And then there are more spikes here, as you can see in the second block, and also the 2040s, which I know are very hard to control because these are so fast and you have to shift and change cadence so fast. And that's part of the challenge, right? You have to engage your muscles and really work with those hamstrings and quads, and especially the high RPMs here. There's a lot of hamstring work to try to control it and not spike so much. And same for the standing. So I'll provide a few more comments to each one of these, but why do I care about the spikes? Why should we care about spikes and try not to have them? The goal of this workout was primarily skills and working on controlling your power. What happens a lot of times, and we don't even notice when we're outside on group rides, races, events, etc., we tend to do this too. So we tend to accelerate, and every time we do an effort that is higher than what we're supposed to be doing, we just fatigue faster. And so these spikes are over time. If you have a long ride or a long workout, they're going to cost you quite a bit. Now, if you're in a race scenario, it could be a little bit different. But if you're in a long climb, or if you have some rolling terrains and you know you're going to be in a saddle for a long period of time, you want to avoid having these big spikes. They will fatigue your legs faster. So that's what we're learning here. We're learning that control. We're learning efficiency in terms of controlling your pedal stroke as well, and engaging all those muscles. All these big changes in cadence and power are really working all of your muscles in your legs. So you're not the type of cyclist that is quadriceps dominant. You are the type of cyclist that really engages all of the muscles in your legs to be able to apply better power into your pedals. All right, so then for the standing here, this is also hard because you have to shift and first, then you get out of the saddle, and then you hold that power. Now, you can see that the power goes all the way up, way above target, and it slowly goes down. She didn't go below the target, but it does have a big spike and then down. Again, here, up and down, up and down. This last one here is more smooth, so not a lot of spikes. The key, again, is a controlled effort. So let's say that you are in a climb, you're in a short hill. You're very controlled in your effort, so you're not fatiguing your legs. That's the goal. So here, the last comment I'll offer, well, the cadence here was supposed to be 90 RPMs, and I see that it's right there within that range, even though there's quite a bit of variation, but it's within that range. Here, the 60 to 70 RPMs looks good. 100 RPMs looks good. 65 looks a little bit high in some of them, but it's fine. And then here around 60, that looks great. Then the last comment will be these drops. See the power dropping? This is a rest interval, so we don't mind. You don't have to, unless there's a specific recommendation or in the instructions, we specifically say hold the power at X and it's not a recovery block, then we don't care if the power goes down. But this one here, it was supposed to go from 90% down to 70, not below. And then it went below here again. And then here, some big drops too. Again, why do we care about the drops of these floors? If you're out, same thing, you're out on a group ride, you're out on the road, if every time you are shifting from higher power to lower, you let that power drop, it takes more effort for you to bring it back up. And you might say, oh, come on, Theia, that's like what, 5 seconds, 2 seconds? But it is. It is. It's all part of building that muscle memory that will save you energy over time. And a lot of those drops will add up. Okay, cool. So this one doesn't have, again, the workout profile, but the cadence here, I can see it is between 90 and 100. And here in the second block is between 60 and 70, which is where it's supposed to be. I would like to have seen this be a more straight line. And this is hard to achieve, right? More straight line. Even though the power is changing, the cadence doesn't change. You're just shifting and trying to find that gear that works with that cadence. And the same thing here. You know, when you do these workouts, for example, in Zwift, you're in workout mode. The roads are flat. Once you are able to do these on flat roads in workout mode, then you can challenge yourself to do these on real terrain. So you could, if you want to do it indoors, you could be doing in any Zwift course and say, I'm going to use the terrain and I'm going to shift everything I need, the gear, the cadence, to try to meet the targets. So that's even the next step in the challenge once you get this one to be a straight line, even though you're changing the power. So these look really good, the 2040s here. And then the standing intervals. There's one here that goes all the way up and then slowly goes down, but overall looks good too. All right. This one here, I think there was some zooming in. You can see that the profile of the workout doesn't look like the other ones. Compare this one to that first, or this one, or even the first one we looked at. I think it's just how the screenshot was taken. But one thing that I'm seeing here that I really like is the cadence. Look at that straight line. So you have variation in power, but the cadence is where it needs to be throughout the interval, 9 minutes. This is out of erg mode. Looks really good. Lastly is this one here. You can see that there are parts of this workout that seem to be in erg mode. See how it looks? It traces very evenly, perfectly the power. And it looks like a drawing, like a computer drawing even. And then these are probably out of erg mode, as you can see the variations. So this one, Our writer said that she turned ERG on and off depending on where she was in the workout. She's new to the lab and she's still learning how to control the power without ERG mode. So awesome job. You're going to be, it takes practice. I'm going to go back to that last one that we looked at, this one here. This one is from a rider who has been doing our labs for quite some time. And when she started, she also had a very, very hard time holding that cadence, and controlling the cadence and the power without the spikes and without all the changes. And it took months to get where she is. So just be patient. You will get there. It's just practice. Just like with everything, that we do that's new, it just requires practice. So these are right on target. The cadence is on target. This is on target as expected because of ERG mode. And then the 2040s here, cadence looks really good, going all the way up to 100, then down to 75. And then there's a little bit of drops in power here, as you can see, but not too much. So it looks good. And then the 1 minute standing, super tricky if you're not used to standing. But as you can see, some power going up and power going up. But again, not that big of a deal. This is all training. All we're doing here is training. There's no pass fail for these workouts. It's really an opportunity to be working on your skills, to be working on your power and all of those things. So again, thank you so much for sending these screenshots. I think they're very helpful, and I hope that this video is helpful as well. Any comments? Just let me know. Thanks.